What is up, everybody? It is Jessica doing things differently, and today I just kind of wanted to do an update video on life, on just like everything. As you can see behind me, we have like construction, I guess, going on, if you will. We have like a lot of projects, different projects going on in the home, and it's really hard to try to kind of like find time to do things, right? Like with if there's not like if there's not some type of like work going on around the house, then I'm working, right? So it's like finding time to do things and finding time to have time for me has been extremely difficult lately. So I just wanted to kind of come on here and explain life, you know? So number one, the house. There's so much different things going on in the home right now with trying to get it to be where we want it to be. And at this point, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like it's never going to get to a point where I'm happy and I'm like, yes, this is it. We're done. Everything looks great. We bought a home knowing it was a fixer-upper. However, we did not buy a home knowing it was a fixer-upper, and every time we fixed something, it was going to be like where it should have been, like on like a level right here where, you know, it's not something we might know how to do, but we can learn how to do it. It always turns into like a level here because it's never easy. We always run into issues and problems, and whether it be on our own end because we didn't know how to do something, so we ran into problems like naturally. But most of the time, it's a problem because whatever was done prior was not done correctly. And now we're running into that problem, trying to fix that problem so that we can do it properly, you know, and get it done. So that is a consistent issue here. On top of the things that already just like normally need done, right? Housework, shopping, groceries, cooking. It's like a never-ending battle, and it wears on your mental state because you're constantly looking around at all of these things that need to be done, and it's like you just don't have enough time in the day to complete it all. Especially now that I have a second job, it is impossible to complete everything that needs to be done. I feel so overwhelmed more than half the time. So trying to fit in making YouTube videos, making other content for different sites, you know, obviously being a parent, being a girlfriend, doing housework, doing construction housework, doing my garden, like all these things. It's like I have to like categorize them of important. So obviously, mother, girlfriend, house, YouTube, everything is like prioritized in like what I feel like should be most important to least important. But unfortunately, what falls up here a lot of times gets pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed until I just can't push it anymore. And I'm like, I have to do this because I've pushed it off for so long that like I have to get it done now. And then it becomes more of like a rushed type thing, and nobody likes that. Nobody likes to have to rush something that they enjoy doing, and now they have to rush to get it done because they should have already done it, right? So that's that with life, I guess. And then when it comes to like mental health, I fall into little ruts a lot of time, and it's most of the time when I have a lot going on. And I always forget this stuff because I tend to do it to myself. I always forget when I get overwhelmed. I a lot of times start to shut down in other areas of my life to compensate for being busy. So I'm so busy that I can't worry about my well-being, if that makes sense. And or I'm so busy, I don't have time to worry about my partner's well-being or what he's doing or how he's doing mentally or physically. And obviously that comes with its own issues. And I have a problem. So when I'm idle and I have nothing to do, I get in this state of mind where I'm like, I'm bored. I feel like I don't have enough going on. I feel like I'm useless. I feel like nobody wants me. Nobody wants to spend time with me because I'm bored, right? So then I get a bunch of stuff to do. And now I have, well, at first I had my plate and it was empty. And maybe I could throw a few things on it here and there, but for the most part it was empty. Then I go from that to having an overfilling plate of just stuff, bunches and bunches of stuff. And I'm like, yay, I get to clean it off. Like I have so many things I can do. I can pick through this, I can pick through that, like so much variety. And I get so excited because I'm like, I have so much I can do. And then I start like knocking stuff off right away. And I'm doing really good for the first first couple weeks or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, like variety, great, and then a few months start coming and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sick of having stuff to do. I wish I just had a break. But I remember before when I wanted so much to do that now I have it, I'm like, I can't complain about it, right? Because I asked for this. I welcomed this chaos in a sense. So then I start feeling guilty. And then that guilt starts to eat at you. And then after that, you're like, but I caused it, so I can also take it away, right? And then it starts kind of like playing mind tricks with me. And while this might seem to some people like it's just easy, take shit away, like it's not that big of a deal. When you're an overthinker and you overthink everything, it is impossible to try to navigate a situation like this without breaking every part of it down. And again, I did it to myself. So basically that's where I'm at now. I was at a place where I had so much time on my hands that I felt like I was unworthy of that time. I felt like nobody wanted me. I felt like I was alone. I felt like no matter how many people I had around me, no matter how many people were in the room, I was still alone. And I didn't like that feeling. So I thought, if I fill my plate up and I have all this variety of stuff I could do, it'll fill me, right? It'll make me happy. And for a while it does make me happy. I get excited. I get excited about new projects and I'm so, giddy, and it does work for a bit. But then when it's too long and it's not done correctly, I get overwhelmed. I start feeling guilty. I start feeling unhappy. I start feeling empty again. And the root of all of this is that I'm unhappy in some aspect and I need to fix that instead of just filling it with like filling the void type thing. And I don't know how to get there. And this is a very vulnerable video, so I do hope that if there are comments, just please be kind, because I don't hope anybody else goes through this, right? But I know that there has to be other people who go through stuff like this, and talking about it sometimes can, one, help other people, two, let other people know they're not alone, and three, help me to know that I'm not alone. Like, I'm not the only person who thinks like this or does things like this or feels like this, or whatever the case is. It helps me as well. There's that. Then I start to get destructive, and we all know destructive behavior is not good. And I'm not saying like destructive like I want to go out and grab a felony, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that destructive, but it is stuff like getting tattoos or tattoos aren't destructive, but I'm saying like I don't need them. I don't. For example, I got this tattoo. This tattoo is completely inappropriate for my work. So it was destructive in that aspect. I got it. I didn't think about it. I didn't care. And it negatively impacted my work. And now, if I go into the medical office, I do have to wear long sleeves because of this tattoo. And that was a very destructive, quick decision on my end to just go do it because I was being destructive. In that moment, I needed to do something that made me feel good. And I did it. And without thought, without consequence, I didn't care. And that's what I mean by when I say destructive. I don't mean go hurt somebody and get a felony, or go rob somebody and get a felony, or whatever the case is. Like, I don't mean that. I just mean, like, most of the time it's destructive to myself, or most of the time it's not necessarily destructive, but it's like crazy behavior that I don't know why I do it, right? So I start to get in that spot where I just want to go do something crazy. And recently, because yesterday was my birthday, I turned 41. And I don't necessarily have a problem getting older, per se. We all get older. It's a natural thing of life. And no matter how much I don't like it or I don't want it, it's going to happen. So it's not that I have a problem with that. I have a problem that I'm 41 and I feel like I haven't done what I wanted to do in life. And I feel like I'm never going to get there, right? I feel like I'm never going to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish in life because it's like almost like too late type thing. And that's a terrible feeling. So I then start thinking, I need to do something that's going to make me happy. I need instant gratification. And if you guys know, because you've watched my older videos, or if you guys know because like you just have been with me for a while, you also know that I am in recovery. And I have been in recovery now for 10 and a half years. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't change my recovery for the entirety of the world. I have a new way of life, and I'm absolutely grateful and blessed that I had the opportunity to not only do that, but successfully do that, because not everybody is that fortunate. With that being said, sometimes I get destructive and sometimes I want instant gratification, and that all is surrounded and somehow incorporated with addiction in a way. And I know people who don't struggle with addiction also struggle with these issues, but for me, I think it stems from that. It stems from me needing that instant gratification and needing that like excitement, that burst, that like adrenaline rush, right? Like I need that sometimes, and I can go a pretty long period of time without that, and then all of a sudden I need it. And I need it right then, because if not, I'm going to consistently think about it and think about it and think about it. And the more I sit and ponder on it, sometimes the worse what I do becomes. And this tattoo, again, while it's only a tattoo, it's not that serious. For my work, it was that serious. And I just didn't think about it because I waited too long to do something that gave me that feeling, and I did something I probably shouldn't have. So hopefully that makes sense, and it's coming across the way that I want it to, because I feel like it sounds a little extra, like, oh, I got a tattoo and it wasn't good, and it's like, something offensive. Like, I get that it's not terrible, my body, my choice, yada, yada, yada. But when you work in the medical field or certain professions, certain things aren't acceptable no matter what. I mean, and that going in. So why wait? Like, why chance it? Why ruin it? Why do something you're not supposed to do? Because I need it. And that's crazy. I need to discuss that with my therapist, because I don't really know what that's about and why it is, but I've been like that for a long time, and I've managed to not do anything too crazy, and I've managed to manage it, and it's been fine. But the older I get, the more severe, or like the more fire, or like the more I can feel it, like where I need more, right? So, I don't know. That's my life update. In case you were wondering, I know that you guys like clothing reviews and like Temu and you know all that stuff, and I wanted to give you that this week, but after thinking about it, I'm like, I need to like kind of like let them know where my head's at, because if I don't do that, my videos are going to come across a certain way that I don't necessarily want them to. So I figured to just nip that all in the bud, I would go ahead and just tell you guys what's going on, how I'm doing, and just update you guys, because I think that that's the best I can do, is be transparent and kind of just like, you know, let y'all know. So I did. You're welcome. If this is the first time you guys are seeing my face, this is not the normal content that I do make. However, sometimes it's important. And, you know, I also think that sometimes it's important just to kind of take a step back and evaluate yourself, because we don't always make the right choices. We don't always make sound decisions. I don't care who you are. We've all made mistakes. And we've all not stepped back when we should have. And in return, did some not great things. So that'll wrap today's video up. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I am sorry it's not my regular content, but I will get back to that shortly. If you guys did not watch my last week's video, it is what I got off the TikTok shop. TikTok made me buy it. There's some shit on there, and I will be doing another one soon. To kind of show you guys what's good on TikTok and what's not out of what I've gotten. But all right, you guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure that you guys leave a comment down below so that I could possibly shout you out in one of my upcoming videos. If you are not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that bell for notifications for every time I upload another video so you don't miss out. I usually upload every Thursday or Friday, depending on how busy I am. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye!